I want to talk to you about business loans with same day approval and business loss accepted. Okay, if you have a loss and you're looking for a business loan same day approval, I want you to really pay attention to this review. The first lender I want to share with you is actually called Headway Capital. So Headway Capital will give you a business loan same day approval even if you have a business loss. Okay. And let me break it down. So the cool thing about Headway is that they are giving you a maximum of $100,000, which is pretty great. I mean, somebody might say, well, this is a little for a business loan. But hey, listen, if you're having a business loss and they're still giving you a maximum of $100,000, that's pretty good. I mean, you're talking about 6 digits here. So that's really fantastic. Okay. So when you think about Headway Capital, I want you to think about a very flexible lender. So it doesn't matter if you have an LLC, if you have a C corporation, an S corporation. The only thing Headway Capital wants to see is that they want you to be in business for 6 months. So if you are like a brand new startup, you're not going to qualify for this business loan same day approval with business loss. Okay, and so basically, so depending upon your operational history, Headway Capital will want to see like annual revenue of $50,000 in the last 3 years. So I mean, you could have a loss this year, but when you actually average revenue for the last 3 years, the last 3 to 5 years, they want to see at least $50,000 annual revenue. Okay, so this is you can have a yo-yo in terms of your revenue generation. You can have a loss this year and a profit you can have a loss this year and a profit last year, for instance. So those should even out. Okay, so when you think about Headway Capital as a business loan, same day business loss, okay, you have a few pros and also a few cons that you have to really think about. So what are the pros here? So you have flexible qualification requirements, no prepayment penalties, and funds are available by next business day. I'll get it after approval. So as soon as you get approved, you get your cash the next business day. Now on the flip side, most borrowers are actually subject to a 2% draw fee if they don't give you a loan but they give you a business line of credit. Okay, because sometimes they do it too. And and the other flip side is that Headway Capital is not available in all U.S. States. Okay, so this is really what it is. And so minimum time in business, don't forget 6 months. Okay, 6 months. You got to be in business at least 6 months. And minimum average revenue for the last 3 to 5 years, $50,000. If you're looking for a business loan same day approval with business loss okay, I want you to think about BlueVine. Now BlueVine originally is actually they specialize in business lines, so they will give you a business line, but they can actually convert that business line into a business loan if you have the right relationship with BlueVine. Now the thing is that BlueVine actually will approve you for a maximum loan amount of $250,000, but BlueVine actually they started as a business lender a few years ago, but now they are actually trying to really become a full-fledged sort of bank, online bank, neobank, if you will. So the best way to actually, let's say, hit things off on the positive note with BlueVine is to actually be a business customer. In other words, open a business checking account with them, okay? And basically, you can really parlay that relationship into a loan application, into a successful loan application. So you can have BlueVine wants you to be once you have a minimum time in business of 12 months. Okay, now you can have a business loss this year, you can have a business loss last year, but over the last 5 years, BlueVine wants you to have an average annual revenue of $120,000, and you shouldn't have any bankruptcies on your credit report. If you have bankruptcies, BlueVine is not going to work with you. So you got to really make sure that you clean up stuff before you contact BlueVine. So what's really good is that cash can be available within 12 to 24 hours. So that's really fast. You have multiple term lengths for different financing needs, and you also have a low minimum credit score requirements. On the flip side, BlueVine might require actually weekly repayments. Sometimes they will also ask for a personal guarantee. And BlueVine right now is not available in North Dakota, South Dakota, or Nevada. And rates can be high compared to traditional lenders because see, BlueVine is not a bank. BlueVine is actually is like a middleman trying to really help your business get access to funding. So that's important. So if you have a BlueVine business checking account, you can have your approved draws instantly. So if your draws are going to an external checking account, funds are made available as quickly as the next business day or faster if you pay a $15 expedited wire transfer fee. If you're looking for business loans, same day approval with business loss, okay, I want you to consider Fundbox this year. So Fundbox is actually great when it comes to a same day business loans for bad credit with business loss on the records. Okay, the maximum loan amount you can have through Fundbox is $150,000. So Headway is giving you $100,000. BlueVine is giving you a $250,000 maximum, of course, and the Fundbox is actually keeping you at $150,000. But hey, listen, it's still great. Honestly, when you think about it, it's still fantastic. So when you think about the qualifications for this loan, basically you got to be in business for at least 6 months, and minimum credit score 600, and average minimum annual revenue for the last 5 years, it has to be $100,000. So basically, if you have a loss this year or loss last year, or even a loss 2 years ago, it doesn't matter. As long as you are able to average $100,000 over the last 5 years. Okay. So when you think about Fundbox, by the way, is not a bank. It's not a direct lender. This is a neobank again. But the cool thing about Fundbox is that on the positive side, basically financing is available within 1 business day after approval. So that's really good. That's really fast. I mean, especially if you need your cash real fast. And you have a simple application process with minimal documentation required. So the paperwork is really minimized here. You have a startup-friendly sort of process that accepts borrowers with a minimum of 6 months in business, low minimum credit score requirements, and no prepayment penalties, account maintenance fees, or inactivity fees. On the flip side, rates are high compared with traditional banks, and Fundbox may require a personal guarantee. So this is something to really expect. And weekly repayments are required over a short term, so maximum of 24 months. So Fundbox is really reducing the repayment window. So Fundbox can really approve applications within minutes and provide funding within the next day. Can you imagine how fast that can be? So you may qualify for a business loan, same day approval, or a business line of credit from Fundbox with a minimum credit score of 600. And you can choose your repayment terms every time actually you make a draw. Next, if you are looking for business loans, same day approval, business loss, okay, I want you to consider OnDeck this year. So OnDeck is great for same day short term business loans. Short term, okay, so they accept business loss, not a problem, but they want you to be profitable, to have been profitable in the last 5 years. So when you average your revenue for the last 5 years, it has to be $100,000. So this is what it is. And with OnDeck, cash can be available within the same business day, so within 24 hours. This is really good. And so OnDeck accepts borrowers with a minimum credit score of 600 to 625. That's the minimum. You have a streamlined application process with minimal documentation required. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. And you can use actually OnDeck to build business credit. So OnDeck is going to report your data to your transactional data, your payment history to Dun & Bradstreet, to Equifax Business, and to Experian Business. So that's really good. On the flip side, basically, OnDeck is not available in Nevada, North Dakota, or South Dakota. And so OnDeck requires actually a frequent repayments. So here I'm speaking about daily repayments or weekly repayments. And interest rates can be high compared with traditional lenders, okay? And also, basically, OnDeck requires business lien and personal guarantee sometimes. So this is something to really think about if you were to go with OnDeck. So minimum credit score is 600 to 625. Minimum time in business 12 months. Minimum annual revenue of $100,000, and you got to have a business bank account, okay? for OnDeck to do business with you. So if you are approved for a loan and are able to check out, let's say if you're able to check out before 10 a.m. Eastern, OnDeck can deposit funds by 5 p.m. Eastern the same day. Its term loans are offered in the amounts that going from $5,000 all the way to $250,000. Okay, and you have a minimum loan term of 24 months. So this is actually a great option for your business if you are looking for, let's say you are looking for a lump sum to repay relatively quickly. So fantastic. If you're looking for business loans, same day business loans, same day approved, and business loans okay, I want you to think about Altline. So Altline actually is great for same day funding for businesses with cash tied up in invoices. So actually there is a correlation between Outline approval and also basically invoice management. So this is why Outline is great for invoice factoring. That's why the maximum loan amount you can have through Outline is actually pretty high, $10 million, because see, your invoices constitute the collateral that will actually back up the loan. So Outline is not really they're not really exposing, like they don't have exposure, like too much exposure through the transaction. So maximum loan amount 10 million. So what are the pros and cons here? So the capital available, the capital that you want will be available within 24 to 48 hours. That's really fast, okay, for that level of sophistication when it comes to loan approval. Actually, no collateral is required. Basically, Outline manages payment collection from your customers, and they do accept startups and businesses with bad credit. So that's pretty interesting. On the flip side, fees can become expensive the longer that the longer it takes your customers to pay, because basically Outline is going to charge you. It is difficult to compare factoring cost to other types of business loans. So this is something to really think about it. So bottom line is, if you're B2B, if you are a B2B business with cash flow tied up in unpaid customer invoices, you may consider invoice factoring with Outline, a company that actually provides capital, that can provide capital in as little as 24 months. It is relatively easy to qualify for. There are no minimum credit score, annual revenue, or time and business requirements, and the Outline actually will factor invoices as small as $150 and up to $10 million. Remember, we are speaking here about B2B, okay? Strictly B2B. And so all credit scores may be accepted. So I'm speaking about anything ranging from 300 all the way to 850. Then you have no minimum time and business requirement, no minimum annual revenue requirements, but you gotta be a B2B business. You gotta be in that space. Otherwise, basically, they're not gonna work with you, regardless of how great you think your business model really is. If you are looking for business loans, same day approval with business loans, okay, I want you to consider national funding this year. So national funding is great actually for unsecured same day business loans. And the cool thing is that national funding is pretty generous in the sense that they will approve you for a maximum loan amount of $500,000, okay? And so with national funding, you have funding in as little as 24 hours. So this is pretty fantastic. You have prepayment discounts available. And you have a lender that offers loans to startups and borrowers with bad credit, okay? And the cool thing it also is that no collateral or down payment is required. So this is pretty fantastic. So $500,000, okay? And but on the flip side, national funding charges a factor rate that makes it more difficult to compare cost with other lenders. And you have short-term loans that require daily or weekly repayment. And so this could be a little problematic, a little bit disruptive to your cash flow. And it requires also a higher annual revenue than other online lenders. You also have on the website, when it comes to national funding, you have misleading website marketing. So overall, when you think about national funding, basically think about an online term loan. So this term loan does not require physical collateral or a down payment, and you can qualify with only 6 months in business, and a 600 credit score. So potentially, if you are a startup, you could qualify for this loan, not a problem. And so if you have a loss, basically a national funding will work with you. Now, things can move quickly on their end. They can process and fund an application within 24 hours, depending on when they get the required documents and the bank accepting the funds. And the cool thing about national funding is that no matter where you are at, no matter where your business operates at, okay, so they will work with you. They are available in all 50 states. That's really fantastic. Now, repayment terms for their short-term loans range between 4 and 24 months, and payments occur either daily or weekly. However, they also do offer discounts if you are able to repay your loan early. So that's really good. And one thing I want to say before closing on national funding is that national funding actually will have a serial relationship with you, a serial borrower lender relationship with you, and they will accompany you on multiple loan proposals. If you're looking for a business loan same-day approval with business loss, I want you to think about Tron Capital. And Tron Capital is a pretty strong lender here. But Tron Capital is more focused on equipment financing. They also do regular business loans, okay? But primarily, they are an equipment financing sort of provider. So maximum loan amount here at $250,000. And Tron Capital can actually fund within 1 to 2 business days. There is no prepayment penalty, and you have flexible prepayment options monthly, quarterly, annually, or semi-annually. So that's pretty good from a flexibility point of view. You will love that aspect of things. And one thing I want to say real fast here is that you have to really understand that it's all about the possibilities that you are looking for. What am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here is that everything depends on the type of relationship you want to have with national funding, okay? Sorry, with Tron Capital. But the minimum credit score here is pretty low, 550 to 575, okay? And although this lender typically requires a personal guarantee and UCC lien, and requires also a high minimum annual revenue over the last 5 years, so $250,000 over the last 5 years. But the Tron Capital actually works by giving you a repayment window of 5 years maximum. So something to really think about. So those were the 7 business loans, same day approval, business loss. Okay. So what are our observations here? So basically, in terms of choosing the business loan, same day approval, business loss approved, or business loss. Okay. Look at the transparency of rates and terms, flexible payment options, fast funding times, accessible customer service, reporting of payments to business credit bureaus such as Dun & Bradstreet and Equifax, as well as Experian. And also think about responsible lending practices, okay? But if for any reasons you are not able to get your business loan same-day approval from an alternative lender, remember that you have you have common options for same-day business loans. You have short-term loans, you have business lines of credit, you have invoice factoring, you have merchant cash advances. So that you have a lot of possibilities, okay? But overall, a same-day business loan is actually an arrangement that gives you access to capital the day you are approved or within 24 hours. So this fast business loans can be used to pay for operational costs, cover emergency expenses, or take advantage of an unexpected opportunity. And so this is really good. And same-day business loans are generally available from alternative online lenders, okay? So unlike traditional credit union or bank lenders, those companies tend to offer streamlined applications with minimal documentation required. So this is pretty good. In conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about business loans, same-day approval, business loss, okay? I gave you the review, the observations, and now the conclusion. In terms of review, I spoke about Headway Capital, BlueVine, Fundbox, OnDeck, Outline, National Funding, and Tron Capital. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.